Okay, in the previous videos, we changed the Daikatana payments contract to take AUSD instead of ETH. Then we compiled it and launched it or deployed it to our local version of the Katana blockchain. Now let's build a really simple UI for interacting with it. This is going to be very rudimentary, but just to show you the power of the starter kit and what we have at our disposal. Now the starter kit comes with its own demo app, which you can just compile by running run build, which is already ran for you when you bootstrap the starter kit, but I just ran it here for simplicity. To actually host this application, this is compiled to be static host friendly. So you can put it on IPFS, you can put it on GitHub Pages, you can put it on a simple $5 VPS, it'll just work. And for that, we need to also be able to host it somehow. There's no runtime keeping this live, so we need to add it. So in a new terminal, I'm just going to go into dist, and I'm just going to do npx http server. HTTP server is this npm package that just runs and serves whatever it finds in the folder where you invoke it. So it just, if there's an index.html, that's going to become your hosted website. And so if I click this, you'll find that this is now running on 8080. So if I click this, you'll see that we have the Katana demo app, and the Katana demo app is connected to our local Katana chain. We also see that it's reading the total supply of AUSD. This matches the real total supply of AUSD on chain, and also some other variables that are here badly truncated because of screen sizes and other shenanigans. So we have these readouts just to prove that our connection to the chain works, and the chain works, and the application successfully connects to the chain. So all of that works really nicely. Now, what we want to do is we want to modify this UI to accommodate our Daikatana payments contract so that we can interact with the contract itself. And to do that, let's talk to our AI again. Let's start a new chat, and then let's tell it this. Learn about this project from README, and then analyze the Daikatana payments contract. Once done, modify the demo app in source such that it becomes a UI for interacting with the user settable values of this contract, provided the admin is signed in, connected his wallet. What else? The UI should also output any values contained in the contract, like payments held, etc. Write functions for the admin and read functions for anyone else. I think that's about it. So let's see what it does if we run. This is all the information it should need, actually. And one more thing we can do here is, so if you look at the Forge directory where we have our output, and then we check out our Daikatana payments output, you'll find that it actually has the ABI in the output already. So the ABI has been generated on compilation. And this is really cool because we can tell our AI to actually use this ABI to construct the UI for the application. So the ABI for the contract can be found in Forge out Daikatana payments dot JSON. You might not be able to see it as it's part of an ignored folder. Now, this is a nice trick where you can't really tag Katana payments.json. You can't really tag, oh, wait a minute, you can? Oh yeah, you can. Okay. It can be found in, okay, that's cool. Previously, you couldn't actually include the files that are part of a gitignore file, like these. You can see that these are grayed out. But actually now you can, or I'm misremembering. So this makes it much easier. Usually I would tell the AI to grep for it, to find that contract manually, because it will not be able to be included in contracts here. And it actually, when it runs the tools for grepping and so on, it will find them without a problem. Let's see if this is enough for it to generate us a very rudimentary UI for interacting with this contract. Yeah, okay. So it's done some changes now, and let's take a look what it's done. Now it changed 3 files as expected: index, style, and main TS. If you look at index, it just adds admin controls. Naturally, we need these to control our smart contract. Style, okay, it decided to style this. I bet it looks awful because it's not very good at design, but at least there's going to be some buttons, hopefully. And main TS is the by far the biggest update. Now, notice that it included forge out Daikatana payments sold JSON directly from the location of the API. And this is good because when we compile this TS, it is going to be included in the JS as needed. Then it just declares some of the buttons. Now, what are these problems? Let's see. Okay, so some type errors. Let's see if that'll compile. I don't feel like bothering with this right now. It looks like it just added a bunch of functions that we need, which is good. And at the end we have here, yeah, okay, some listeners. All right, that's fine. Let's just keep it. And then what we have to do is just rebuild. So we rebuild the app and we can just refresh the application in our browser. Let's see, this is exciting. Let's see what happens. So this is our old version. If we refresh, there we go. Daikatana payments. Okay, current address not set. This is not good. Awaiting contract address. I do not like that it didn't figure out which contract address we have, but to be fair, we didn't really give it information on where this might be. So let's actually give it this information, and that's gonna be up here. This was our latest compiled address. Now let's see if we can load that. Load. Okay, it doesn't work. Let's see why. Console data loading, contract data loading complete. Okay, so it does load, but it doesn't really produce any changes on screen. Let's see the network. What happens here? Clear, load it, and it doesn't seem to. Let me see like this. Ah, there we go. Okay, so it didn't load. It was still cached because we didn't have DevTools open. So now that it cache cleared, now we have everything. Okay, great. We didn't indeed define these values, so of course we don't have them here. AUZ token is well defined. This is overlapping a little because of styling issues. It's, as I said, it's not very good with designs, but it looks like it's reading our UI correctly. All right, so first what I want to do is I want to hard code the contract address so I don't have to keep putting it in. So first what I'm going to do is I will be telling the AI to do the following. So hard code the contract address to this, so I don't have to input it. We now have a hard-coded address, so let's rebuild our application. And let's recheck the site. Again, we need to activate the decaching. And here we go. So our contract is now automatically loaded. All the values are now automatically loaded. Now, the next thing I don't like is I don't like the way this looks. Now, in Cursor, you can actually give it visual input, and you can be as direct as you want. So let's take a screenshot of this. And then in Cursor, we are going to tell it the following. The values table looks bad. Make it render long fields one under another so they don't overlap. Either that or widen the cells and make the widen cells to 100% of content of widest content and make the table overflow scrollable. All right, so now it will see the image, it will understand what I mean, and it will understand the solution I want, so it's going to do this. Let's check it out. It is now done, so again we rebuild and recheck in console mode on so that we get cache busting. And there we go, much nicer. Now we can see who's the owner, the treasury, so this is the same as the owner. If it's paused, pause boosts, and so on, whatever we have for values. Because our wallet is not connected, we do not actually see the admin interaction interface. So let's see about that next. Suddenly, our admin controls have appeared. Now, there might be a bug here where, because cursor works the way it works, it misses some things. So I'm assuming that there's going to be a chain ID bug because it didn't include the Katana chain in the contract calls. Let's take a look. Update and console. Update. Yeah, there we go. So it's trying to make a call without providing the chain argument on the action. And usually this is enough information for cursor to fix this. So let's see, we copy all of this entire error and then we'll just put it in here. When I try to interact with the contract as admin, I get the following error. Using the previous state of the demo apps TS as inspiration for how one should call write functions on Katana, local anvil, or mainnet. Fix these errors. And let's see what it does. Now I should note that this is all just vibe coding the demo UI. This is not really production code. Ideally, once this works, once you have the basics out, you would go in, hammer out some inefficiencies and polish it and make it really something that is more presentable in both visuals and code. Right now, we just want a basic UI that will work with our contract so that we can maintain and manage it. What's really cool about this is once you deploy this static application, you can just put it anywhere you want and you can have your own kind of admin dashboard sitting somewhere else and manage it at your own discretion or even locally, and it will just work for you. So you don't have to actually have it as a part of the main app. This is just for us to interact with the contract itself, and it's hostable anywhere. So really, it doesn't have to be perfect as long as it works. Now it says it fixed the problem. Let's see what it did. It modified the main TS file. So now let's see what it's actually done in the latest pass. It hard-coded the element. These are the changes from last time as well, so it's hard to tell apart at this point. All right, let me expand this here, and we can see here that it's building a VM chain, a custom chain for Katana, and it will resolve it and it will pass it in as the chain that we want to submit transactions for. Let's see if that works. So now we rebuild the app. Again, we revisit it in the browser. Let's refresh so the cache gets busted. We reconnect our admin wallet, and then we go down to the controls and click paused. If we update now, we have our transaction triggering, we confirm it, we wait for the block resolution to happen, and we'll probably have to refresh because we don't really have Ajax updates built in here. It's a very simple UI, but it should happen any second now, if it didn't already. I don't know if we have any confirmations for block production. So let's see if it's confirmed or no. We should refresh and see the new state. Yes, it is paused. So we now have paused on yes, so we have the ability to edit the state of our contract as the admin here. Now again, very rudimentary UI, very primitive, but it works for basic write and read operations, and it was fairly easy to vibe code here. From this point onward, you can just tweak it to your heart's content. You can make it pretty, you can add other integrations, you can add privy. We have a tutorial in the official docs, and do all sorts of other things. But this is how you vibe code a simple UI for your contract and come up with a kind of boot up a simple demo app that you can then expand further.